Hello everyone. My name is Ali Reza Niksat. I'm gonna talk about my presentation for my class Global Studies with the topic the main facts about the economics of climate change for the US and the world. I'm gonna mention to 10 points and I'm gonna explain a little bit about all of them. I hope it is helpful. The first point is gonna negative effects on the US economy will accelerate as temperatures increase. The following effect will occur agriculture because of the loss of productivity due to excessive heat destroying crops. The average human life expectancy will decline somewhat. And also, crime rates may increase as a negative economic pressure increase poverty. Storm activity will cause larger amounts of water damage to the coastline. If the global temperature were to increase by 4 degrees Celsius, it would cause a loss of 2% of GDP. And my second point is the carbon taxes proposed would result in major CO2 reductions and other benefits. Between 2020 and 2030, a carbon tax of $25 per ton, increasing at 1% per year, will achieve a carbon dioxide reduction of 10.5 gigatons. This is an 18% increase above baseline levels. The market pressure created by carbon taxes encourages people to seek lower cost energy system. A higher carbon tax would tend to lead to the abatement approaches that have the lowest cost per ton. And also, my second point is about many of poorest countries in the US will suffer the greatest harm caused by climate change. The negative effects won't be equally experienced by all regions of the United States. The wealthier area may experience very little effect of climate change. A disproportionate impact will affect minority communities that live in southern coastal area. Nearly a million homes are at risk of being underwater by 2100. And the 4 points is going to mention to greenhouse. Most of the greenhouse gas emissions still aren't covered by any type of carbon pricing initiative. Many countries do not put a price on carbon usage. There is an unequal disruption of carbon pricing systems throughout the world. Primarily, Europe, Asia, and North America is where these systems are located. Europe produces about 33% of global CO2 emissions, while the US produce 25% and China produces 13%. Since the Paris Agreement, there has been an increasing number of new programs. On my fifth slide, I'm going to talk about the poorest countries will lose the largest percentages of their economic output due to global warming. There is a negative spillover effect, meaning that the amount of emissions from one country often affect the rate of warming in other countries. There is a large per capita amount of damage, for example, experienced in India than in Ireland. The regions that stand to lose the most would be Latin America, Africa, and South Asia. On 6th page, I'm going to mention pricing. Lots of carbon pricing plans have been introduced worldwide, and there are major cost differences between them. At the local levels, national levels, and international levels, 57 different programs have been created. The idea of this plan is that by putting a cost on emissions, it encourages activities that reduce emissions. There is currently a wide range of price between countries for carbon use. In Sweden, this is $126 per ton, but in Poland and Ukraine, this price is close to zero. The social cost of carbon is determined by factors like the projected impact associated with increases in CO2 emissions and the discount rate that is connected with the conversion of projected future damage into current money. If the carbon price is too high, it would change the cost-benefit determination of some of the non-price policies. And my 7 points. The highest mortality rates due to climate change will occur in Africa and the Middle East. Heat-related health issues and mortality rates will affect Africa and the Middle East mostly. Some of the biggest impacts will be in equatorial zones because they are already very hot. In the cold regions, there may be a reverse effect. Fewer people may die. Oslo, Norway, for example, would have 230 fewer deaths per 100,000. And the next page, I'm going to talk about abatement. Some of the abatement ideas are more expensive than others. There is a range of plans to help reduce emission in the world. Some plans involve better livestock management. Some plans encourage reforestation. The Clean Power Plan was a program to reduce power sector emissions. And on my next page, the price of renewable energy is decreasing. That includes the price of solar energy system and wind energy system. Clean energy is still a bit more expensive on average, but its cost is continuing to fall. New technology is helping to decrease its cost. The increasing amount of renewable energy supplies is due to technology advances. And also, I'm going to talk about the last page, intensity. There has been a constant decrease in the use of energy intensity and carbon intensity. There has been some decreases in the carbon footprint during the last decade, which is positive news. Energy intensity. Energy consumed for every GDP dollar also shows a downward trend. Some believe that this decreasing energy intensity has been the biggest factor in reducing US carbon emissions. Non-hydropowered renewable energy has greatly increased, which again is beneficial. This was my presentation, very briefly about my topic, the main facts about the economics of climate change for US and the world. I hope it was helpful, and thank you for your listening.